Introducing the all-new 2014 Kia Forte, a compact sedan redesigned on an all-new chassis that's longer, wider, and lower than the previous generation Forte, which means for you, the everyman driver, more room, more performance, and more features than ever before. Plus now, you have a more powerful engine choice. Hello and welcome back to Everyman Driver. I'm Dave Erickson. So glad you're watching. The all-new Forte represents the heart of Kia's small car lineup. Positioned between the Rio subcompact sedan and the Optima midsize sedan, both of which you can find reviews on in the playlist section on the Everyman Driver YouTube channel under Kia Vehicle Reviews and Footage. I've been very impressed with the exterior design on this new Forte. It has a mildly aggressive stance for its size, swept-back headlight lenses which cut deeply into the front fenders. Its LED positioning lights create a Hawkeye look to me, which helps make the Forte stand out in a crowd. Around back, the upkick fender line and trunk design with its deep horizontal crease lend width and charisma while allowing the complex curves of the tail lights to flow over the car's hunches. And this abyss blue color is pretty sharp too. Before we get to some of the interior features and options, let's pop the hood on this stylish and sleek-looking compact. The all-new Forte has two advanced four-cylinder engines, both in front-wheel drive. The LX trim level, which is your base entry level, has a 1.8-liter power plant, whereas the EX, which I have right here, comes in a more powerful 2-liter GDI engine. Both engines feature dual continuously variable valve timing and a lightweight intake manifold. The LX comes in both a 6-speed manual and automatic, whereas my tester, the EX, is only available in an automatic. The LX can produce 148 horsepower and 131 pound-feet of torque, whereas the EX kicks it up a notch to 173 horses and 154 pound-feet of torque. Now, when it comes to fuel economy, the LX is just a little bit better. It's rated at 25 miles per gallon in the city and between 36 and 37 on the highway, depending on your transmission. The EX is rated at 24 miles per gallon in the city and up to 36 on the highway. This week, I've been averaging in mixed driving 29 miles per gallon, so very good. Okay, let's talk ride and handling. I mentioned earlier that the new chassis here under the Forte is longer, wider, and lower, which is true, but not by much. It's longer by 1.2 inches, lower by 0.6 inches, and wider by 0.2 inches. The wheelbase is also 2 inches longer. Will the everyman driver notice? Probably not, and since I haven't driven the 2013 Forte, I can't tell you if the ride and handling is any better or worse, but I can tell you this: you can control your driving settings to suit your personal driving needs. Case in point, the optional Flex Steer, which allows you to switch between comfort, normal, and sport. What this does is change the weight of the steering, where comfort is your lightest steering feel, and sport has a heavier, stiffer feel to it. I've driven in all three modes, and I can't tell a big difference between comfort and normal and sport, but I can tell a difference between comfort and sport. My preference is driving in the sport. Now, one thing that did stand out to me in a negative is cabin noise. Even though the engine is smooth and responsive, it can be a bit noisy on the highway. One thing I really do like up here is the optional heated and cooled front seats. It's been warm lately, and this cooled option is a nice relief. I think it's fair to call this a modern and sophisticated cabin, which is more driver-centric, which is to say the center stack is angled slightly toward the driver. It has large, easy-to-read instruments. My tester has the optional 4.2-inch color LCD screen with navigation as part of the technology package, which is nestled nicely between white-on-black gauges. The steering wheel mounted controls are appropriate in number and easy to manage. The premium package that you see here includes ventilated driver's seat, heated front seats, as I mentioned before, along with cooled seats, heated outboard rear seats, heated steering wheel, leather seat trim, push-button start with smart key, and a power tilt sliding sunroof. Here's your legroom and headroom in the back of the Kia Forte. You know, this is a compact sedan. It kind of feels like it could be a midsize. I'm 5'11". Here's my driver's position. So if I'm sitting behind someone who's 5'11", I'm comfortable. And here's how much room I have between my knees and the back of the seat, which is okay for me. But if I were 6 feet tall, 6'1", 6'2", or taller, I'm going to have some issues, especially when it comes to headroom. I'm okay right here, but again, add a couple inches and my head is skimming the roofline. You do have 3 O-blank handles all the way around, which is okay. You've got cup holders in each side of the passenger doors, and the fold-down armrest also has a pair right there, so that is good. There is 1 storage container behind the passenger seat back, but not right here behind the driver's seat back. Just an observation, some vehicles have 2. This one happens to have 1. Now, this is rated to be a 5-passenger compact, so if I was positioned here in the center, I'm up on a little bit of a ridge, and over here behind the passenger, it's comfortable. Again, you know, realistically, when you talk about a compact or midsize, it's really best suited for 4 full-size adults. A 5th makes it a little bit on the tight side. You have 3 options for opening the trunk lid of the Kia Forte. There's a lever by the left foot of the driver. There's a button here on the key fob. There's also a soft button here just below the Kia badge. Press that and up comes your trunk lid. Now what you see back here is comparable to that of a midsize, which is good for you, the everyman driver, because more bang for your buck. You've got 14.9 cubic feet of volume back here, even more so when you pull these levers and fold down the back row of seats, which is very nice. Now, just below the floorboard, you have a little bit more space, not a lot, but a little bit, as well as an emergency tire pump, but no spare tire. Now, I've brought along my 30-gallon storage bin to give you some real-life perspective on what 14.9 cubic feet of volume looks like in the cargo area. And it slides in just fine, a little bit tight if I want to do it long-wise, so I'm just going to keep it wide. One note of caution, though, if you get it too close to these elbow joints, you won't be able to close the trunk lid. So just center up any pieces of luggage or storage items here in the center of the Forte, and you'll be able to close the lid, no problem. The beginning MSRP on the 2014 Kia Forte LX is $15,900. The EX begins at $19,400. My tester also has the premium and technology packages, so what you see right here is $25,515. Now, the Forte is considered a midsize when it comes to fuel economy, but it competes with other vehicles in the compact segment, vehicles like the Ford Focus, Honda Civic, and Toyota Corolla. Now, based on my research, the Forte is the better value when it comes to entry-level price, but not when it comes to fuel economy. Each of the competitors I mentioned before, Corolla, Focus, and Civic, each are projected to achieve 30 miles per gallon or better in mixed driving, whereas the Kia Forte is only in the upper 20s.